everybody. It's a really late night here on a Monday night here in the forge. Try to catch up with you on the weekend, post something up for you, but it's really just been a real crazy weekend. We had some equipment go down. So we've had some of these big, huge milling machines that we use. You know, a lot of the big equipment that we have here weighs, 4,000 or 5,000 pounds. Everything's really heavy. So what I had to do, we have another storage building down the road where we keep a lot of equipment when it comes up for sale, things that we know we're going to need at some point in time. So we pull that stuff. And what I did is I went down there and I loaded up one of the really big milling machines and brought it up here. Generators over at that building too. So to get the clearance on the big trailer that we have and to make some space here, I went down there and I picked up this other big Sajo milling machine. It's about 5,500 pounds. So I brought it back here, and I spent Saturday morning working with a gentleman who's helping me put together the Cnc Lathe that we're building. Rather than buy something necessarily that's just kind of a standard Cnc lathe that would let us do more of the pommel work ourselves, because we have manual equipment here primarily. We decided to build one so that rather than using it has a 3 horsepower primary spindle motor, we've done one with a full servo, and that's going to allow us to do 4th axis work, basically allow us to carve with it, which is going to be really cool because we'll be able to carve pommels rather than just simply be turning them on a lathe and then doing all handwork on the sanders for a lot of the ornamentation that you see us do. With this, we'll be able to do some carving and some engraving on the outside and things like that, or it'll be a little more automated. Maybe we can produce a little bit more of that kind of stuff. But we're also making some major changes here at the shop, where our sanding room that you're used to seeing in Man-at-Arms, where we do most of the sanding and polishing work, we're actually going to swap that with our machine shop, which has been really cramped because we're putting some big additional equipment in. So we're going to swap those 2 rooms. Nice part about that is we're going to be able to put air conditioning and temperature control and dust control a whole lot better in that place. I think this gives a pretty neat perspective shot here. You can see those screw presses and how big that other hammer is. So I'll be able to move that generator in the next couple of days. I don't know if you can see this here, but I'm standing here, and right up here, a little spider hanging out, coming down at me. I'm gonna step over here and leave him be. If you see some pictures here, we're gonna swap out and show you the CNC lathe that we're building. We took a Kinetic CNC lathe that I bought that had been at Mattel. Had no electronics on it, so when we got it, it had very old servo drives and it had no electronics whatsoever for the controlling. We've stripped all of that off. We've put a whole new series of motors on, built a new control panel. Really going to take a little bit more time to get it up and running, but as you see, we're mounting the control panel. Motors are all in place. That little tiny motor that you see sitting up on top of it is actually going to be our spindle drive. That spindle drive is a full servo, so it always knows the location. Not only does it allow you to thread, but it will allow us to do like fluting and engraving and all kinds of other work on the outside of the round pieces when we're working. Mostly for pommels and probably for like mace and warhammer handles, where we'll be able to do some pretty intricate work with them. The guy who's helping me build it, Craig, he is actually the guy who does a lot of the prototyping for like our stiletto blades and smaller turnings like that we do. So he's a very knowledgeable guy and a super helpful friend. So anyway, I appreciate you guys checking in, and we'll show you a little bit more stuff as we come and go. Just keep going. Kevin starts back tomorrow on Tuesday, so we'll be back to almost full strength here with the with the order starting to roll in. We're doing a lot more custom work because the Renfaires still just aren't open yet. So hopefully once we get into July, everything's going to get up and going. We'll start with the Kentucky Renaissance Festival, if that can indeed open, and then we'll roll right into Colorado. And then, man, fall's going to be crazy because so many of the shows that couldn't open have gone ahead and rescheduled for the fall. And with that, and of course we're here in Maryland. The Maryland Renaissance Festival is one of the biggest in the whole country. It's really a fantastic fair, and we've been associated with them off and on since I guess about 1983 or so. So really fantastic show. and that hopefully is a big major part of our fall. Like I said, Colorado in the summer, Ohio Renaissance Festival, Minnesota, hopefully. I mean, really hoping all these big shows will run. And then we end our season late into November and early December at the Texas Renaissance Festival and the Louisiana Renaissance Festival. So it's going to be a hell of a fall if we can get it all in and if people are healthy enough. So wish us luck. We wish you luck. Everybody stay safe. Thanks. Click the logo to subscribe, or click the video to see more things we make here at Baltimore Knife and Sword.